Right. Hello and welcome to something a little bit different. So, a week ago, which is exactly what it says on here, I got a comment that made me think, wouldn't it be nice to talk more about my comments than just or what talk more back to those people despite I don't know. Basically, it got a comment and made me think that I wanted to say more about that than what I really could do in just, a comment back. So, we're going to go over every single comment, basically, that I've gotten as of this point, and, you know, we'll see what happens. So, 2 years ago, on this video, Tip Soccer Lite, which is, it's a relatively good game. Despite it being very kind of pointless. I've played a game on, it's called Football Heads or something like that. This is why we have Google right here. Yeah, essentially this game, which it's got to load first, but you know, it's I don't know. It's kind of a stupid game, but it is a mobile game. And this guy, Chrome Turtles, said, hella dope video, keep it going. Which, if I'm honest, it probably sounds absolutely terrible. Because I'm pretty sure I recorded that on my tablet, which it doesn't have a speaker, doesn't have a good speaker. And I don't even know if I was talking with videos at that point. I might have just been putting music behind it, which, if I'm honest, we can check that out. Okay, if it would load. Oh, okay. So there isn't actually music in this one, so I am actually talking in it. Okay. So next on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Generation video, which was which part of it? I mean, the part three. All right, sure. Maybe I should close some of my pages, or and Steam. That might be nice. Anyways, he's a cool video friend, which I mean, whatever. It probably wasn't. It did have video. It did have music in the background, as far as I know. So, whatever. I'll take it. Um, next is in a Clash Royale video, which I'm pretty sure is one of the very early ones. And this guy said, "I like your attack strategy," which I, it probably was absolutely terrible. If I'm honest, I honestly don't know really. Hmm. So I was level 2 at that moment. I was actually they had music on this one. It is. I'm pretty sure it's basically with just the basic deck right now. Oh no, it's pretty awful. Anyways, so yeah, that was that exactly. Next is something that I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about because the rest of them were just like, oh, good video. So this was in uh, another part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Generation, which is probably the longest running series, and God, I made a mistake with that. Still ninth episode. Goodness. Music still going on. But obviously things are going on. So I'm playing with an ancient gear deck. So this guy says, is there a way to make the game stop fucking asking me if I want to play a damn spell every single fucking round? Otherwise, this game is broken. I can't even play sitting through clicking 500 times no spell. Kills the game. Which, I mean, see, there's a problem with this because technically, Oh, I'm glad I closed Steam because that would have been a good time to show off that. But if I go into Steam right now, this game, Legacy of the Duelist, would do the same thing if you couldn't just hold right click to have it not show up, where it will automatically press no until you unclick it and then it's whatever. But this you have to do it no every single time because of course it's a mobile game unless you get it on a computer for whatever reason and manage to bind controls somehow, which I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know. Um so, you know, it kind of does and I said it kind of does kill the game, but it's still fun with that issue that probably can't be fixed realistically, which, yeah, again, it's a mobile game. You can't really do something like that. It can't just be like, oh, don't show this because yeah, it'd be kind of difficult to program that type of thing. And, Konami isn't known for trying as hard as they probably could be with their games. So, you know, and then he replied back, which was quite nice because that's better than anything else they could ever do. Is I played the PSP version, and I don't remember it being that intrusive to gameplay. I thought there was an option to shut off the auto asking crap. Oh well, I'm addicted to Summoner's War now, so it doesn't matter. Which, I did play Summoner's War at one point, but then I just stopped, and I don't exactly remember why, but, that was also like 2 years ago. Which, I mean, PSP, I mean, auto asking, I mean, because then it'd still be like, it would just, like, if you needed to do something on your opponent's turn, you would have to, like, figure out how to work that, and yeah. Then there's a comment in what looks to be something like Portuguese. Yes, it's Portuguese, but I can't read it, and there's no auto translate function, so I'm sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh! Brazil. This guy just said cool. Which, I mean, it's another dual generation video, which means that it's probably has music on it. Which, of course, it could be playing, I just don't want it to be extremely loud. Um, yep, more, more, more music. Still using ancient gear. Yeah, good God. Okay. So I also eventually started doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles because well, I think I had my phone quite a while before this. Um, uh, you know, I, I mean, I'm not. They probably weren't very good, like really at all. God, close Steam now. They probably weren't very good, and this one especially because this is like some Red Eyes garbage, which is probably directly ripped off from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Dragons deck box thing. So yeah, but his nice profile. I love the Red Eyes cards. Which I mean, the Red Eyes cards are really cool, especially when it's not just Red Eyes Black Dragon, when it's like all the rest of it to like support it like it's I don't know a Blue Eyes deck. But yeah, then I said, yeah, I really like this deck, but I could do it more justice than I have, which is obviously true. I just either didn't have the cards or was like, okay, I care about other decks more. So then I did a Noble Knights deck profile, which I'm surprised there aren't realistically more comments on this thing because it has okay, if this will load ever, has 202 views, which I mean is like the most. That like to dislike ratio is the best thing ever. So, so the one comment I got was Rhoda and Upstart Goblin are limited, bro, and I believe that's because I have. Well, I mean, obviously you can see 3 Rhodas in the or reinforcement of the army, which I know it's limited. Oh, is it limited now still? I thought they did something to it. It was limited obviously at this time. So I I mean obviously yes they are limited and I know I'm pretty sure I had like 3 upstart goblins in there and obviously it yeah, but I also do say in the description that it's not legal, which I mean kinda I kind of forgot that I only sort of said that. Because what I did say, now that I have to open it again, was, that doesn't say anything, but if you like this, check out other deck profiles for more not so legal, not so good decks, which meant that, this deck is like not legal for tournaments, which I mean, I don't build for that because I don't ever play in tournaments, and I haven't ever. I was only just playing against my friends, and they don't care about those types of rules, especially since I was not the first one of them to end up breaking those rules, so I didn't really care about worrying about them either. And then, I don't play tournaments, which is really the only place a deck has to be legal, and, I'm not good enough for tournaments. The deck isn't good enough for tournaments anyways. So, especially since I it probably wasn't even like viable at the time anyways. So, I went on Amazon and got like the two cheapest Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes that I could, which were Shadow Specters and one of the other ones. This is Shadow Specters right here. Um, Man, where are the other ones? I honestly don't know what the other ones were. It's probably not even in the. No, it's not. But yeah, so eventually I decided that I was going to, at some point, just to give you some context for something later, that I was going to move around and, do it from a different, or I flipped my phone over so that I could, like, record a little bit better, which I didn't realize wouldn't actually flip the camera over, so it's literally upside down for the whole rest of the thing, which must have sucked to watch. So this guy says it's number 46 for trade, and also do you have a Galaxy Soldier, Cyber Dragon, Infinity? Which I'm pretty sure I didn't have those other two at the time, but obviously you saw number 46 in the thing. And I did say that I don't know how. I don't have either of those cards, and I don't know how I'd get that card to you. Which I mean, if I'm honest, I still don't. But and I also apologize for the video being upside down for part of it, or more than half of it. So next is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. When I decided to finally play, Duel Links, which even though this was the closed beta, because I'm cool enough to get that, because it was open closed beta realistically. But um, yeah, so I played it and I did some more stuff, and this guy said do quiz 3-4, which I don't even know if I could have done. Well, actually, I probably could have done it, but then it was like I think the actual like full game will start to was released, so I kind of got rid of this, and then so the problem was it took me quite a while to actually get to that point of quiz 3-4, but I did do it eventually, so hopefully that person was like satisfied. So I also did an episode of or a few videos on this game called Soul Knight, which I mean, this game I think is pretty cool. I'm probably not the best at it, but I mean, it's I still have it at least, which is more than I can say for some of these other games. So I mean, I don't know if I'll ever actually play it again, but it's cool. And this guy said I have a video of this game on my channel, and I said I will try to check it out, but I don't know if I did, which I don't understand why people could really watch. I mean, it's not that bad. There are other games that would be like, okay, how could you possibly watch this? Next, this guy on an Elemental Hero deck profile, which is amazing. Because that was one of like the first decks that I actually really wanted to build, and then I finally built it, and yeah. And then this guy just said cool video man and whatever. And then I also made a what was it? What was this one? Because this one I kind of made some very weird decks. Oh yeah, it's a dragon level 7 slash red eyes deck profile, because I wanted to make a red eyes deck, which didn't end up uh like getting I don't know, it was pretty terrible. I'm sure, but there was like not enough like cards or something, or there's not enough like red eyes stuff. But like I have so many like cards just sitting there. It's so funny. But like, I don't know. And I'd wanted to put like some level 7 dragons in there, so, whatever. So, and this guy said it was a good video, which apparently which the comment was labeled as spam, which I didn't realize that there were comments that were labeled as spam until today. So, yeah, we'll get into why that's a little bit worse later, but this one's just kind of, a little bit disappointing that I didn't get to see something like that. Okay. So, this guy, after I did my Bakugan collection video, which I don't currently know where it is, but it may or may not be downstairs being ready to be sold. Because I decided that I didn't want to keep it anymore, despite having like just recently like pulled it out of the basement so I could like go see what's going on with it, and I realized it was completely pointless. Which an interesting story about my Bakugan is when I was in like 4th grade, I like magnetize them to the inside of my locker, which would have worked if two things weren't the truth. If they weren't, such terrible magnets, which you could see by like the fact that some of them would just roll off the cards when you rolled them across instead of, actually magnetizing to one of them. And then uh, the other thing was that an actual like magnet that you would put on something metal, like a fridge magnet, would like stay magnetized because like the weight is like sufficiently dealt with, which is why we sometimes have problems with like chip clips when they have magnets on them and you hang them outside the fridge. Sometimes they'll like fall down, is because like not all of the weight is supported by the magnet. So when the weight is just kind of like spread out everywhere like a Bakugan is, it'll kind of fall off. So several times they fell off. My locker was slammed several times, which I don't think was necessarily by me, but there were some broken Bakugans at some point. So yeah. And I also said, so he asked me if I have an Instagram so I can text me about something, which I'm not really, you know, trying to show people my Instagram right now. And I mean, you could just say it here, which I mean isn't really the most efficient way of saying something, but at this point I didn't really care. And he asked if I was trying to get rid of some of those Bakugans. And then I said I don't really plan to get rid of them, even though I won't have anything to do with them. Which, I am getting rid of them, but, whatever. So the next comment, which I'm going to skip, is about in a Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, it's in the same video as the one where the guy just said "cool video," and I'm just like, all right, thanks, man. And then there was a spam comment. So, and they asked another person who I don't know what it was, who I don't know who it was, about their Skype name, which I am deciding just to leave out of this because it doesn't need to be in here. And then I said, I don't know, it was literally not important. I also went over my Yu-Gi-Oh collection, just like I went over my Bakugan collection. I also went over my Pokemon collection and my sports card collection, which they weren't very good videos, but whatever. So this guy said, "Hey man, cool collection. Are you gonna do a video of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards in your binders?" Because I believe in this video I just kind of went over what was in the binders, or I just kind of went over the binders and kind of quickly flipped through them instead of like going through and kind of like checking out each card or in general. So this guy asked if I was going to do a video of specifically the Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the binders. And I did say there is a lot in there. I guess I could, but it might be a long video. Which I did end up making that. I don't know when exactly, but it was made at some point. Next is what's in the Yu-Gi-Oh binder. Oh, I'm glad that I literally noticed that now. So this guy said I'm interested in all your numbers and a bunch of other stuff. And I said I don't know how I'd trade you, but whatever. I mean, okay, it's whatever. Okay, next. So, I did, so this is when I essentially started doing the fan fiction readings. So, this one was Sit Semper Macum by Kyle Wagner, which I really like this story because it's amazing. Wow, that. Oh, you can actually click on the link. Oh, sweet. It just looked weird, and I was like, what? Anyways, but it's really cool. So this guy decided to say, yes, Bumblebee, Bumblebee, and I said, agreed, thanks for commenting. Which, I mean, honestly, I do kind of prefer Bumblebee in the end, but, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to happen in the future. And then in the same video, as you can see from the from that, it says Sam go Bumblebee okay. I don't even know what that is, and I just kind of ignored it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Christian. But, you know, I I just kind of ignored it because I mean, obviously it wasn't talking to me, so whatever. And then I also, of course, because I'm a very neutral person, I don't like to start fights. I went later and did Black Sun, which is Blake X Sun by Generic Ham Sandwich, which is, I also said finally some Black Sun and not just only Bumblebee like usual. There will be a little bit more diversity in the types of stories coming in the future, which I did because I was like, I want to do some of both because, that would be quite a good idea. And this guy is the same one that commented on that one saying no Sun X Black, which, I mean, and then I said, I clearly understand that Bumblebee is your favorite. No! But in an effort to not piss everyone off, I'm taking a neutral route and pissing everybody off by saying that I support both. Which, I mean, I do at this point, because, it's likely that neither of them will happen. And that's realistically the smartest choice for them to go for the writers of RWBY to go for, is that neither of them shouldn't happen. And then later on, I did, what is this one? It's more fanfiction readings, if I'm honest. Hurricane by Burning Legend, which, ah, things just kind of happen. I said, I will not stop reading whatever fanfics I want. So then this guy says, do you take requests? And I said, that depends. What am I reading? Which, and then he didn't respond, which is kind of disappointing because I would have loved to see what was going on. Next, which is in another, oh wait, it's in the same one as this one, I think. Yeah, it's in this one again. So this person, Sinowin, says, Yas, thank you for doing a Black Sun fanfic. So happy right now. Would it be too much to ask for another Black Sun fanfic? Which I don't remember how many I have done since then, because that was, 6 months ago. But, I said I will continue to do my best in making videos showing off a diverse range of fan fictions. So, I did things. And then this person on another one, which was, I think I remember this one. It's Eclipse, there you go, by Erica Amari. So, so it seems we're currently going back and forth between Bumblebee and Black Sun, which is, I'm pretty sure this is basically the next one after, this, or this one down here. This is like the next one. And then this person says, because you read Black Sun one-shots by X Winter Maiden X, which, I don't remember if, I don't remember if that's a thing that I did. I don't really want to leave the story I'm currently reading, but, uh-oh. Can't connect to the internet. Why is that? Okay. Um, can I just search for... Okay, I can search for authors. That's not how you spell that. I hope I at least found it. Uh, profiles. Oh, hey, look, it's there, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's in the list to review. Okay. Although it does say some of them are M rated, so I may not actually be reading that one. So, okay, so I also ended up doing a video on a game that I liked, which is Top Drives. So this game I showed basically all of the different. Okay, so this was behind the so I think I what did I do exactly? I like showed all the different parts of the stats, or I like talked about all the different parts of the stats as far as I know, because I'm terrible at understanding this. So this guy said I assume that it's meant to say I'm RG, which is the thing that was up there. 93. Okay, why you're not 79? Which seems like kind of a stupid question because he answered it later. Um, uh, yeah. So I was only 79 in that, which was, or, okay. We need some explanation. So it says up there well, it's actually RQ. He put RG. Oh no. Because I believe it stands for race quota, which is the amount that you can, which is the which is basically corresponds with this part of the car where it says that's that, and you need to have 5 cars for each sets of races, and you can only have up to 79 total, so you need to sort of mix that out and make it so that you have all the cars that you want. Yeah. So, this was my best car at the time, and then I uploaded it, and of course this guy gave a comment. So, and I said, you probably played the game more, which, if I'm honest, yes. And he said, I know, and I have a Mercedes CLS 300, which I believe I have now, despite the fact that I deleted the game, because I hate it now, or it's become boring. And then he said 400, which I believe is a car that I had gotten at that point, but it kind of sounds a little bit weird. Um, I don't know. I couldn't like figure it out. And then I also said I do have a better, I do now. That says no. Oh my God. I do now have a better car than shown in the video, but that's even better as in this one, which I got like a Ford Focus RS at that point, which was better. And it's probably still realistically my best car because I don't actually use the Mercedes, or I hadn't actually used it. Anyways, and then I made another fan fiction review or reading. So this is Bright Lights and Bumblebee by Bright Briar, which is pretty great. It's an amazing story. So this guy came back, which you remember he asked for a request down here, and he said literally the same thing. Do you take story requests? And I said, it may take a while for a video on it, but any story anyone recommends, I will at least look at, like I did with this one, which I didn't say that I looked at it, but now I'm saying it. So it's in my to review uh, like story list on Wattpad, but I haven't gone through it because there's 200 in there, and I already have so many. So yeah. Next, Forza Horizon 3, which I believe this is probably the first episode because it has the Centenario in it, which I didn't get. Oh, I'm glad I started the video before I opened it up. I think I just wanted to show the full opening. That was kind of stupid, anyways. Hashtag copyright claims right here. Because the music in the game is very much copyrighted claimed. But this guy said, nice game, like and subscribe, which, I mean, thanks, man, but, whatever. So, now getting the most, uh, the comment that I have the most, I would say, regrets with. So, this comment was made a month ago. So I was at school at the time, and I had seen that a comment popped up, but I was like trying to do other things at the moment, so I didn't want to look at it. And then when I got a chance, it was gone. And I was wondering why that was. And I figured it out today that there is a reason, because on YouTube Creator Studio on your phone doesn't show the spam comments, which are over here. Which, I mean, I'm still worrying. I'm still thinking, should I deal with this? Which, I mean, it's really just these, which are just people at this point saying that, watch my videos, watch my videos, watch my videos, something like that. I mean, whatever. I'll figure it out later, which, whatever. I haven't even looked at this because I didn't know that these comments exist. Well, I knew that this one existed, but I didn't know that these existed. So, yeah, which is probably why comments I like saw there was a comment there and then it was just gone. So I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, so this one was the most annoying one that was there because this person says, "Oh my gosh, these are mine. I'm Brightbriar off of, the one from down here." And, say just all sorts of things. Thanks for reading, on YouTube, which, I mean, whatever. My video's really that good. Um, and of course, they say they'll watch them at some point. And of course, they say there's, cringe. And then they also said, although, since I noticed you make Yu-Gi-Oh videos, you wanted to read something of mine, which is a bit more recent, and I'm more happier with. Hopefully there are fewer typos and a better plot. Yu-Gi-Oh fan fiction. So I mean, there is a link, which is pretty nice, which is probably why it was labeled as spam, but it's because there's a link in there. But I mean, of course, I mean, I don't know. I'll think about reading it because it's not on my preferred platform because I would have to like go on to Google on my phone to find that, and that's just kind of like. I mean, I'll probably at least look at it, but still, I often don't want to read through those that I find on Google before I like look before I actually like make a video off of it. But yeah, so they just continue talking about this, and you know, apparently chapters have become a lot longer too, which is just like, ugh. But I don't really care because I've done really stupid other stuff. They also said, I'm sorry that I didn't respond to this when you made it, as for some reason made your comments spam, but it's okay now. I will honestly think about reading more of your stuff, even though I don't really do Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. I'm still interested in reading it, which, I mean, I do still consider, like, almost every day being like, should I go back to watching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, or should I not? Because I'm like, it's terrible, but I'm still just like, hmm, hmm. I don't know. I think it just got boring for me, but, you know. And I probably will still continue playing the ones that I have on my computer, just won't be playing things like Duel Links and Dual Generation, because Duel Links is, like, not really Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dual Generation is absolutely terrible, despite the fact that I actually spent money on that, which I'm kind of annoyed by, but, I don't know. But yeah, and then I don't know if I said it in the video, but even though they may be old, they're still good. So yeah, I definitely did really like the ones I read by Brightbriar, which I read them all, even though they weren't like on my list of things to do, which I still haven't like I'm pretty sure I wrote down some of the stuff on there like I don't know, at least half a year ago, which, you can see the date in the bottom right corner. Probably more than that, and I still haven't gotten like halfway through it. And there's a story that I really want to read, but I'm not there yet, and it's so annoying. I don't know why I put it so far in the future, but I'm just like, I probably because I was like I want more parts of this to be done because it's so good. Yeah. And then finally, the most recent comment still, which was the one that I originally thought of to be like the one that I originally wanted to talk about most, which was in the which Ruby character. Hold on, which Ruby character is the strongest of each team? Which I also did one on which Ruby character is the weakest of each team. So basically, I used my Chromebook, which I don't have anymore because that was a school thing, and then I pulled up pictures of each of the Ruby teams and just went over what I thought was the weakest and the strongest. And then, and I also said I uploaded a video about a week ago to about the weakest character of each team, and I'll see that this is more difficult than that one, which I don't. It's not even in here, which I'm, which I guess makes sense. But so basically I just talked about all of them. You can see all the tabs up top that are open with all the teams. But like, I don't know. So this person obviously had some things to say about it, which, oh my god, I didn't look at the date of this video, but I know it was like really like probably halfway through volume 4 at most recent, which is not a good place to put that. August 15th, 2017. I don't, was that after volume 4? It was definitely before volume 5. I know that. I haven't watched this in a while, which I mean makes sense, but yeah, so August 15th, 2017, which is almost a year ago. Good god. This person obviously this person obviously just found the video. So he said, I agree with your opinions, except I think Yang is the strongest on Team Ruby because of your pure power, and Raven is the strongest because, spoiler, she was revealed to be Spring Maiden and defeated Cinder. Which, okay, the, I, okay, really? So, I think it'd be best to start with what I replied with. So I said, it also has been quite a long time since I made this video, and we still don't know the full potential of so many characters I call the strongest, especially in Teams Ruby and Stark. So what I said, I don't necessarily agree with anymore either. So what I said was that, I believe I said that Ruby was the strongest, and I also said that, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I don't agree with it because obviously things have happened when when I made this. Okay, so it was definitely after Volume 4. Was it any amount into Volume 5? I can assume the answer is no. Oh, it was like a couple months before Volume 5 when I did that. I think one of the trailers had just came out, so it was like, uh-oh, things are happening. So basically, obviously these things happen in Volume 5, and yeah. So the problem is with a lot of the characters is that we don't actually know anything about them. Like, especially for teams of like the Vital Festival, I just kind of went like, okay, like, come on. Like, okay, for that team, it was pretty obvious to judge the weakest one because, it was the guy with the stupid pink hair, because he was literally the most useless person on that team. But, I don't know. Other than that, it's just like, because you don't know enough about the characters to say, hey, that is the strongest or that is the weakest. So like because we don't, because like even with like Team Ruby, we do not know the full potential of what Ruby can do, despite the fact that she's used her silver eyes like twice now or something, which I mean. And then we don't know what Weiss can fully do, despite the fact that she now has summons, which are ridiculous. But it still is like there's probably still more that she can do. I assume that we know most of what Blake can do, but that's kind of still pointless. And Yang, I still don't believe she's shown off like fully what she can do with, you know, now that she has her sweet metal arm. But yeah. And then of course Team Stark, we still know absolutely nothing about Summer's powers or Summer's abilities. We also know nothing about Ty's abilities. And then we are just starting to know about Ravens, which I mean, this it does say, which of course we don't know what happened to Cinder, so that is another kind of problem. But yeah, and then of course we don't. I mean, I think we for the most part understand what Crow can do, but we don't understand. I don't think we fully understand the implications of what his luck semblance does. So and of course there's other teams that we don't fully know what's happening to them, and I don't think we fully know everything about what John can do with his new stupid healing powers or whatever they were. So yeah, I don't know, but I would. I am honestly thinking about doing another like set of this only when we know like everything about the characters, and only when I decide to actually look everything up. Because I kind of just pulled up a bunch of pictures of all the teams and decided, hey, let's look at what the strongest is of each team without even like researching anything about what we know or what, the people have come up with as like, oh, this is what's going on with their semblance and all that. So, I would consider redoing both the which Ruby character is the strongest and which Ruby character is the weakest of each team. So, I mean, I would consider doing it again, but probably only when the series is over, and as long as it doesn't like leave holes for like, important teams, which I mean, things like Indigo and whatever these guys are, whatever these guys are right here, which I don't remember their team name. Auburn, there you go. And then the other one from the Vita Festival, which fought Team Bronze, there you go, which are, literally useless and probably won't show up ever again. So, yeah. Now that this video has probably been going on for way too long, I will end it. So, that's it. I'm going to look over my spam comments, and then, hopefully there will be more comments in the future that I can look at and say, hey, this is cool, or this is, actually talk about them, because what I can give back in a comment is really not enough to say exactly what I think fully about it. I just kind of have to be quick and concise. So, next time, I don't know what will be happening, but I mean, it'll probably be Fortnite if I'm honest, which is, kind of disappointing. And also, I forgot to mention this person apparently decided to watch way too many of my videos because they said, uh, they said, since you weren't exactly sure what was next in your last channel update, which I don't remember what that was, if I'm honest. Was that the Stardew Valley one? I don't remember. Anyways, that'll be it. Next time, I don't know what we're doing. We'll figure that out eventually. And look at that Forza copyrighted content constantly. Oof. Oh, and Civ too? Damn it. It might have been this one. Oh, it was definitely this one. I don't know. Alright, I think, yeah, we're just done. You gotta end this before it becomes way too long and I keep rambling. We're done. That's it. No more.